friends, welcome to the season of Advent 2020. I bet for most of us, if not for all of us, this season of Advent is unlike any Advent that we have celebrated in the past, as it is accented by this pandemic, which has really put us on edge and which has, which has inconvenienced us and shaken our way of life. But in front of all of this, the church continues to guide us and enlighten us to be able to move on in a conscious and reflective way in our Christian journey, despite everything. In this Sunday's reading, this first Sunday of Advent readings, what sets the tone for me is a line from the Gospel of Mark, where it says, "Be watchful and be alert." When you go to the parallels in the other gospel, it also says, "Stay awake, do not sleep." Now, every time we hear this line, it doesn't necessarily mean the end of times or the end of the world. But for me, they remind me, or they ask me of my attitude of what that I have in my Christian journey. Do I know where I am at? Or do you know where I'm going? Do I know who I am? These are really fundamental questions that ask me of my attitude. I'm reminded of this Indian priest, Father Anthony de Mello, who said that spirituality means waking up. Most people, he said, even though they don't know it, they are asleep, so to speak. They are born asleep. They live asleep. They marry in their sleep. They raise children in their sleep. They die in their sleep without ever waking up. Meaning, they never understand the loveliness and beauty of this thing that we call human existence. So, Father de Mello is reminding us that if we are asleep, we are missing a ton. We are missing a lot of things. Because if we are unconscious, so many things are unfolding in front of us that without our knowledge, we don't notice them. That is why spirituality is really about waking up to knowing who we are and where we are going, basically. St. Peter has a beautiful line that I also like. He says, "Be solicitous to make your call permanent." And what is this call that Peter is talking about? This call of being holy. This call of being saints. That's who you are. That's all of us who are baptized have become children of God, and thus we are all saints. This is our vocation. This is the common denominator for all of us. For me, for you, for everybody. You and I, we are called to be holy. And God is carving a path of holiness for each one of us. Now, when St. Peter says, "Be solicitous to make your call permanent," St. Peter is asking us about, have I cultivated ways? Have I cultivated practices that will remind me, that will keep me in this path of wholeness? In the season of Advent, what this would mean is that this time of Advent, do I need to forgive someone? Do I need to ask for forgiveness? Do I need to be grateful of something that I have often overlooked? The things that I've received, the things that I've being shared with. Do I need to be appreciative? What do I need to do this season of Advent to cultivate my call to holiness? Do I need to reconcile with someone? Do I need to reconcile with someone? Or do I need to apologize to someone? This is what cultivating our call of holiness. And this is what it means to be watchful and alert. Because if a person remains steady, remains awake, remains conscious in his way of life, Christian life, and you and I, we are in a good spot. We are in a good spot. And finally, this season of Advent and, moving on even during Christmas season, this season is really about welcoming. We are preparing ourselves to once again welcome Jesus in our lives. And it is only if we have a good welcome of Christ, it's only when we receive Christ in a very joyful and celebrated way that we can only give to others. I know because of this very commercialistic tone of our celebration of Christmas, we are immediately preoccupied with giving, which is not bad, which is a Christian expression. But it can truly become a Christian expression if we welcome Jesus first. So let us open our hearts and our lives, our families, our homes to the coming of Jesus Christ this season of Advent and in Christmas. That means is that finding a place of Jesus to dwell in our lives, much like Mary, who received Christ in her womb, and history had never been the same because of that. So dear friends, I wish for you a beautiful Advent, a beautiful journey towards Christmas. Have a great day. Amen.